Today I'm going to give you some insight into who I am. I am a distinguished Toastmaster. And I want to give you an explanation of what that means and the journey I had to take. I'm going to paint a picture for you of the journey that I had to take to be here today as a distinguished Toastmaster. This journey started in 2006. 2006, I started on my DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster journey, and today I'm here because of that mission that I embarked on. I had no idea what I was getting into. I just knew that I was going to be able to give speeches, and there would be an audience to listen, and that was enough for me. But it involved a lot more. And I've given you guys all a book that you can look at. It's a version of this big diagram that I'm holding. But this is my journey that I went on, and I'm going to describe how it was. Now, the first book that I learned my building blocks for public speaking was my Competent Communicator Manual. And I began that as soon as I became a new member. I signed up to do my icebreaker, and I was so thrilled about it. And then I signed up to do my second speech. And after a year and a half, I signed up for my third speech. Well, what happened there? I went to college and finished my bachelor's in computer science. But during my bachelor's degree, I actually had to give several speeches, and my Toastmasters training really came in handy. And people would tell me, like, wow, you're such a good speaker. I'm like, oh, that Toastmaster stuff must have worked. So as soon as I finished my college degree, I went back and got back into Toastmasters. And immediately they elected me president, which president needs this down here, Advanced Leader Bronze. Now, while I was president, I also worked on my Competent Leader Manual. My Competent Leader Manual gave me all the tools that I needed to become a competent leader. And believe me, I needed them as president. 4 of my officers in my first term as my club president quit on me. And I had to replace them. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm the worst president ever. I almost had a breakdown. But I kept going because that's what a leader has to do. You have to keep going even when you're abandoned by everybody. And here I am today, I'm still going. That's what a leader does, and that's what I've learned from Toastmasters. Perseverance through the hard times. Perseverance. And as I worked through my CC, I kept giving speeches, and because I was the president, I wasn't even done with my CC yet. I had to be an example. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even a good speaker yet. But it was trying, but I kept going, and sometimes I had to be a backup speaker. I would come to the meetings, and nobody was ready to speak. And I had to give the speech on the spot. So I became very good at impromptu speaking. I would think of a topic that I knew really well, write 3 points, write an introduction, write an ending, and this skill has helped me so much in my job and at my church. I mean, it's just invaluable, this skill that I learned as being a leader and working my CC manual. Then after I finished my CC manual, I had laid the foundation for competent communication. I knew how to use gestures. I knew how to use props. I learned how to use vocal variety to keep my audience enthralled at every word. I learned all of these things, and now I was ready to really use them. And that's where the advanced manuals come in. There are 15 advanced communicator manuals, and you do 2 right here, 2 right here, and 2 right here. So 2, 4, 6. 6 advanced communicator manuals you can do. Each of those manuals has 5 speeches in them. And the topics for each of the manuals is something like storytelling. How to become a really good storyteller and grip your audience through a narrative. And there's also humorous speaking. How do you tell a really humorous story so your audience just laughs and falls out of their chair? And there's speeches for management, technical presentations. There's all different types of advanced communicator manuals, and you get to do 6 of them. So it's 2, 4, 6, 10, 8 different